Hi guys, Amber here. Time for Talk to Me Tuesday. It's Tuesday, June 2nd, somewhere still in this world. Go figure. It's after midnight and I'm still up. Sleeping schedule's kind of messed up right now. I think I slept 2 hours Sunday to Monday and then I slept 12 hours last night. So let's hope I can get a good 6 in tonight and we'll call it even, right? Okay, so what are you guys here for? Project of Doom. I don't have my mom's block done yet to show you guys. Here's mine. And this is only mine for now because I knew kind of from the beginning that the browns I picked for the hat were not enough, but I thought, well, maybe once I do it, it'll be fine, it'll show up, it'll be okay, and I kept working on it, and I was like, no, I don't think this is going to work, and I got it all together, and I've just been brooding over it ever since, so I will probably redo it. It's absolutely nothing wrong with the pattern, it's totally my color choices, but I may end up using this as like a pillow, or I may donate it to a good worthy cause. We'll see. That said, I started looking at, because as pattern tester I do get to work ahead a bit. I was looking at how much fabric I have left, and I have about this much left. This is just about a yard, I'm not exactly sure. And to be honest, it's probably plenty for what I have left and what needs to be done with it. But I tend to get a bit paranoid when it comes to those things because I tend to be a bit of a generous cutter. The problem is that the store I bought it from, I bought it 6 months ago. And when I went in April, they had next to no Stonehenge. And so, I think I went back in May and they had some, but I don't remember if they had my background or not. And so, anyway, I called them on a whim on Saturday, and I said, here's the problem. 6 months ago, I bought this fabric. I don't have a name for it, and I might need more. Can you tell me anything about it? Well, they keep track, because every time I go there, they ask me for my name. So, I assume they do some kind of tracking, and sure enough, they had records from 6 months ago. They were able to, well, they didn't tell me what the color was, but they were able to tell me that they did find my transaction, so they did know what fabric I bought, and that they had a yard and a half of it available in store. So I asked them to hold it for me. I was going to go pick it up Sunday, but because I'm a bit of a spoiled, rotten brat, and because my mom loves me, she actually went out to the fabric store and picked it up for me. So now I have an extra yard and a half just to be on the safe side. And that makes me very happy. Then I do have, I do have my mom's bagged up. I even have all the pieces of fabric cut and in here. I just haven't gotten around to it because I was working on some pattern testing, so that's in my to-do pile. Unfortunately, this weekend is starting to look a little busy because I'm actually off, but there are a couple errands my mom wants to run with me, so I got to do that, and then I got to do some pre-work, I guess, some prep work for a quilt that I'm going to work on when I finish Project of Doom, and basically I'm taking the weekend to do some pre-work before I get to some other work on it. So there's that. What else? I did make some purchases, some other purchases last week after I did the Crookshanks block that I'm not quite happy with. I did order some browns just to see what some options were out there. And I ended up ordering 6 different fat quarter pieces from Thousands of Bolts, which is a fabulous company. If you've never tried them, I highly recommend them because not only do they have really thousands of things. They sell them by the fat quarter. Their prices are reasonable. Their shipping is reasonable, and they're super nice. So I got these 5 browns. Not that you can see the top one. Nothing really stood out on any of them. The only one color-wise that really worked was this one, and even this I wasn't quite pleased with. It was a bit too reddish for me. Barring that, I probably could have used this one, but it's about 2 shades different than my background, and that, doesn't make me happy either. Fortunately, those weren't the only ones I purchased. I also purchased, if I can get to it, this brown, which actually turned out to be pretty perfect because it's dark enough to stand out against my background. It doesn't have the same textures in it at all, so that was great. Then I made a couple additional purchases. I bought this Stonehenge, which is from their Undersea Adventure line. So they're little fish. And so anyway, there's that. And I think I'm going to, when I redo the Crookshanks block, I'm going to use this because, fish, cats, there's that. The other thing I bought, because you guys know how I love the shiny, I got this red with gold in it. It's a dark red. And to be honest, I actually didn't remember ordering the red or the fish. But, I was like, great, and I got out and I'm like, did I order this time? I looked at my receipt, sure enough. But I then looked at all my Stonehenge stuff, and I have at least 2 other cuts of this. 2 other cuts. So at least a fat quarter, maybe a half yard of this. I have a thing for red and shiny. Go figure. So I have an idea what I want to use for this, because I think I've already used it in my quilt. But I have an idea that I just realized tonight. So I think I know where it's going. So there's that. I don't think I have anything else to tell you guys. I did do some cleaning up this weekend. My sewing table tends to get a bit messy because I have my sewing machine next to me and I'm left-handed, so I turn to my left and I have an ironing board here, and I have a cutting mat actually where I've got the computer right now. And when I cut, I tend to push the stuff off to the side and it ends up in a pile. I try to sort out the Stonehenge and the Fairy Frost right away. That doesn't always happen. And then the other stuff I tend to sort out by colors. I'm in the process of trying to decide still, because I've got other things going on, but I think I'm going to do a big dump of my scraps and just, I don't know, I know a lady who could use them for teaching kids. Problem is a lot of them are really small scraps, and I just got to get around to doing it. That's my problem, is getting around to doing it. So anyway, so there's that. I'm also doing some prep work for some projects that I'm going to be working on after Project of Doom. And actually, to finish Project of Doom, I think, well, with the release of last week's block, we are now up to just 10 blocks left for the quilts. Well, 8 blocks if you count last week's thing. So, I'm going to be getting done with these Project of Doom soon. So I'm going to be doing something new, and that's a secret project too. Not because I'm testing anything per se, just because it's for somebody that I don't know if they watch my videos or not, and so I have to keep it offline. But anyway, I think that's it for me. I'm going to do some quick editing so that I can get this up, so that I can watch your guys' videos before I go to bed, and maybe get a couple other things done before I do that. So I will talk to you guys next week. Bye.